Good afternoon, Vikings. This is Miss Dominy, and I'm the newspaper advisor for the Norseman. And I'm here with senior Sabine Hallermann, and going to be talking to her a little bit about the javelin toss. So I hear that you participate in that activity. Can you tell people a little bit about just what it is? Because I know I've already had some students ask what it was because they weren't sure.
Well, javelin is basically just a very expensive spear that you throw. I mean, it's probably out of all the throwing sports, like you have hammer, shot put, discus, javelin. Javelin probably requires the most running as well because you have a very long track. Then you do your approach, you run, and then you try and throw it as far as possible. And honestly, it's pretty similar to shot put and disc and javelin, except it's a more linear throw. And you throw, honestly, significantly farther than any of the other ones because, like, the javelin I throw right now, standard women's javelin, is 600 grams. It's, honestly, most of it is just aerodynamically engineered just so it goes really, really far. I think a lot of, like, one of the best throwers at A&M right now, I think women's record was, like, 64 meters. So it goes pretty dang far.
When did you start in the sport?
The September of my junior year, I started.
So how did you get involved with that?
So I had expressed some interest with my dad. My dad works at the university, and so he started asking people, hey, is there anyone willing to teach my daughter javelin? Because it's illegal in all but 13 states in high school. So ended up getting one of the throwers at A&M was interested in, just giving me private tutoring, just because that's all you can do unless you want to join a really big club. And at that point, it's just worth the tutoring. And so Nick Mirabelli, that was the name of my coach. And, for the first year, he was the one who taught me, but then he ended up getting injured. And then I had to switch to another coach. Sam, probably one of the best coaches I've had in a while. It's definitely been fun doing it with him and with my other coach, Nick. And definitely doing the javelin meets are insane though comparatively because it's like you're on a big team and everybody does it together even though you're all on different javelin clubs and different javelin teams. And it's honestly, I think it's just like any other track and field sport, and it's one of my favorites because you have like coaches from other clubs trying to help you throw better too.
So what are some of the things you do to train for throwing?
A lot of speed work and a lot of I don't know really how to describe it, but instead of doing a lot of heavy weightlifting, I just do weighted movements over and over again. You build strength through movements rather than in the weight room. And a lot of it is speed and then just doing it over and over again, honestly, and a lot of flexibility training in my arms. Because javelin, you need an insane amount of flexibility in your arms to be able to throw it because it is one of the most unnatural throwing sports ever.
So how well have you been doing in javelin?
My first track season last summer, I went to Junior Olympic Nationals and I was ranked 23rd in the nation.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So are you returning this year?
Yep.
When is that competition?
Junior Olympic Nationals, probably around the end of July, but there are qualifiers leading up to it and starting, I think, end of June.
So what do you know your personal record for throwing?
In competition or out of competition?
Both.
In competition, 29 meters. Out of competition, now that I've been training more, is 39 meters.
Okay, so you're looking to hopefully gain on that personal record in meets this year. Mm-hmm. Is it something that you're wanting to do in college?
Yes.
So have you talked to any colleges about competing in the javelin?
A&M actually. I've actually worked with the javelin and throwing coach at A&M as well, Coach Chico. He is a genius when it comes to javelin. It's incredible working with him. And my coach Sam right now actually also throws for A&M. And so javelin is one of probably the easiest sports I would say to get on because not many people do it, but also if you're good at it, they're very willing to give you scholarships throughout the whole thing, which is really awesome. So, because I think there's only 3 women on the team right now. So it's going to be exciting.
So, what aspirations do you have for javelin? Are you have a goal of going to the Olympics in javelin, or you just wanting to do it in college and see how it goes?
Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if I did the Olympics, that'd be pretty awesome. But right now, honestly, I think my major goals are throwing 40 meters at a track meet, 40 plus, and then, going to Junior Olympic Nationals, seeing if I can improve my ranking, and then, throwing in college.
That's awesome. So you're going to A&M.
Yes.
What are you planning on studying at A&M?
Biochemistry.
Do you have an idea of what you want to do within that field with that major?
Either medical or pharmacy school.
Okay. So what makes you interested in that?
Well, medical school, I actually had a hospital incident, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and the endocrinologist there, the head of endocrinology, was incredible with me. He was like, yeah, you seem really smart. Why don't you come shadow at Texas A&M or Texas Children's Hospital? And sadly, COVID hit, so I never got to do that, but like just seeing how he worked and just like talking to him at the time I was at the hospital for the medical scare really left an impact on me, and I really wanted to do something kind of in the medical direction because of that. And then pharmacy school, actually, that was my IB chemistry IA that kind of led me in that direction. Basically, I was doing a lot of work with aspirin. I was synthesizing my own aspirin, purifying it, recrystallizing it. And throughout that whole process, I realized how fun it was to work with medicines. I really liked it. I thought the whole thing was just very enjoyable and fascinating. And that's when I kind of figured out, pharmacy school is also an option. I can still do medicine in that direction too. And that kind of just led me down the path of just figuring out how cool that field actually is, because I'm actually pretty good at chemistry and biology. So why not do a major with both?
Oh, that's great. Have you suffered any injuries while throwing javelin?
Yeah. Actually, right now, we're trying to figure out if I have some kind of stress reaction or stress fracture in my right foot. But I've also had some significant shoulder strain. Just like you start using your shoulder so much so suddenly, it starts, just freaking out on you. But that resolved itself pretty quickly, and hopefully my current injury will resolve itself pretty quickly too. It's looking good. So, it just happens when you're having fun,
What's been your best memory participating in the sport?
Honestly, one of my I think, this was with my first coach, Nick. His dad was a renowned javelin coach, and he came out, just to visit his son, and he was like, I'm going to go see the girl who my son is teaching go throw. And so he helped coach me for that one lesson, and I figured something out. I don't remember exactly what it was, but at the end of practice, and my dad was there too, so he was watching it on sometimes he comes watch me throw, and the arc was beautiful, the throw was beautiful. I had a personal record that day. I think it was like 32 meters. And I just remember jumping for joy after that, because that was like the best throw I had ever had. And it was in that practice. And my coach was there to see it. My dad was there to see it. My coach's dad was also there to see it. And it was just incredible, because this renowned coach, Mr. Mirabelli, was like, this girl could go. This girl has great talent and potential. You should keep working with her. She's a great student. And I was just so happy, because it was like, oh my gosh, I'm good at this. It's paying off. I want to keep doing this. And yeah, it was a great memory, and I've been loving it ever since.
That's great. You mentioned that in many states it's illegal to have the javelin as a sport in high schools. Why is that?
I have no clue, to be honest. Like, that's the thing, because in high school you use a rubber tip javelin, and in like club and out of school you use a metal tip, anything above high school level really. And somehow they deem that more dangerous than shot put and disc. Like, I'm not sure how throwing a metal frisbee is nowhere near as dangerous as a rubber tip dart, but okay. It is what it is.
Have you met a lot of people and become friends with people through doing this sport?
Not a lot of people do this sport. So when you meet people at at these track meets, they're from all over Texas. Like, I'm pretty sure Texas has only 2 regions, and like you see the same 5 people over and over again in your region. And you all quickly become close friends, in a way. Not like you don't really see each other outside of season, but it's like, oh, hey, I remember you. Let's talk. Like you never left. And it's really nice, and just everything about it is so friendly compared to the other sports I played. Mm-hmm. and it's great.
That's great. We appreciate you spending some time talking about javelin throw and educating us. And we wish you good luck at your meet this summer.
Thank you.